I'm a little bit more focused. I don't know, something happened last weekend. Last week I've been completely out of it. But now I feel like I'm coming back a little bit. Been drinking a lot of green drinks and now I'm feeling better. And your guys' packages are going out and I understand if you want to yell at me. If you want to yell at me, I'm here. I'm here for you guys to yell at me. Last week I was sensitive, but I'm tough again, guys. So if you want to yell at me, hit me. Hit me with all you got. I'm okay. I'm your I'm your punching bag. If you need to yell at someone, you can yell at me. I won't block you. Last week I had one day where I was really sensitive. I did. One day I was really sensitive. I'm rising from the ashes. I'm more like what was that, Sisyphus? I'm the boulder going up the hill and down the hill, up the hill and down the hill. That's me. I'm the boulder. I always in movies, I always identify either as an inanimate object or as the blonde woman. So take that as what you will. So if I'm watching like what was that movie? Legally Blonde. I'm like, oh, I was watching Legally Blonde the other day and I was like, oh, Harvard finally accepted Legally Blonde. And I was like, that's me. That means finally the Air Force has accepted me. And then yeah, so I watch the movies and I see what's gonna happen based on what happens to the blonde lady. So or the inanimate object, depending. Sometimes I'm just a boulder. Sometimes I'm just the machine sitting there. It's a common thing for schizophrenics to be the inanimate object. I don't know if any of you guys identify as the inanimate object. Anyway, guys. So if you guys we're coming at you live from Rooster Farms here. We're a Kona coffee farm on the Big Island of Hawaii. Here's the farm here. Take a look at that farm. Take a look at that cloud cover. That's one of the reasons why Kona is the perfect place to grow coffee. It's that cloud cover there. You call that fog that you see over there. You call that volcanic fog, the fog, and that fog enriches our soil with micronutrients, constantly replenishing the soil. It's not hot at all, actually. We're in the mountains, so it's like 60, 70 degrees. It's actually perfect in the mountains. On the shore, it's hot and humid. That's for my wife's saying. I don't understand. I don't understand her. Up here, it's cool, it's calm, no one's around. Anyway, don't get me started. So, yep, that's where it is. It could be that. Yeah, where are you working, Desiree? Probably they're charging you 12 bucks a cup for that coffee, right? It's just probably the most expensive coffee you've ever seen. So every time coffee switches hands, you double the price. This is some of our Hawaiian coffee here. This is our uh, dark Hawaiian. I'm actually finally got that natural in, so I'm gonna get that roasted. Might be, and I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a special. I don't know if I'm gonna do it here actually. I might give you a little bit of a special show. I'm not sure where I'm gonna do a quick show at my roaster. I appreciate. That's right. You can't drink coffee yourself because you have a fast heart, right? So this is our Hawaiian coffee here. This coffee is all. Oh, that's not you. I'm sorry. I screwed up. This coffee is all grown on the Big Island of Hawaii. The Hawaiian coffee is essentially Kona coffee, and the giveaway is going to be 100%. I don't even have anything in my store right now, huh? And this is going to be some of the sweetest, smoothest coffee anywhere you've ever had. Guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion, or I will give you 100% of your money back. This is also the most expensive coffee in the world. It's the highest grade of coffee. We do have different grades of coffee, so some of the coffee is a little bit cheaper, but they're all going to have the same flavor profile. Most people aren't even going to be able to tell the difference between different grades, but there is a there is a significant difference between grades. Can you guys hear me? Just populated my store. Give me a sec, guys. Ugh, so annoying. I hate how you can't replenish your inventory during a show. There's a lot of problems with these platforms. But this is our coffee right here. This is a dark roast, 100% Hawaiian coffee here. This is all grown on the Big Island. And this coffee is unique because of how we pick it. We have this active volcano, and so the coffee beans here grow larger than beans from anywhere else. But the way we pick it is really what distinguishes it. We pick the coffee overripe, and so it's guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion. You're not going to find a coffee this good. Most of you guys probably look at coffee like you look at smoking a cigarette. You probably think to yourself, I need that buzz. I can't live without this coffee, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna. You can't live without the coffee, but every time you drink coffee, your stomach hurts. So it's almost like you're smoking a stomach cigarette. You're like, I just need this. I just need this buzz. I can't live without it. If that's you, or if coffee gives you acid reflux or indigestion, you get the shits from coffee, you get the jitters from coffee, but you just need it. You don't need to suffer through that. All you got to do is drink Hawaiian, our coffee. Our coffee, I can guarantee this coffee will not give you any acid reflux or indigestion. It's uh, it's it's just way sweeter, way smoother. Won't hurt your stomach. It's just a completely different level. Like you listening to me talk about it, it almost sounds probably I'm just full of BS. And ultimately, when you try the coffee, probably like this is gonna be just like any other coffee, but it actually is so good that you're not gonna be able to go back to other coffees. And the only way you're gonna find out about that is if you try it. And if you try it for the first time, you don't like it, I'm just give you your money back. But if you do try it for the first time, get the dark roast. That's the only one because our dark roast is the only one that tastes like your typical coffees. Even our dark roast is a little bit lighter. Hold on a second. Sorry, guys. I'm just populating, adding some items to my shop. Jesus. I just have a low frustration level right now. You guys ever get low frustration levels and just want to break things? That's me right now. You just want to yell. That's me right now. I got a low frustration level. And I get it. I'm on the Big Island. Here we go. I'm back here every day, huh? I'm based on the Big Island of Hawaii. We're in Kona and vintage airs. Thanks. The only thing that's a problem with our coffee is the labeling. So if you buy like a million bags, you might have some trouble telling just because we handwrite on the bag. So yell. I learned not to yell. My wife, she's a yeller. She's good at yelling. She yells in a way. Oh my God. She yells in a way that scares people, scares the shit out of you. I call it monster face. It's scary when she does that. Anyway, sorry guys. Sorry, I was talking about my wife. I love my wife. She's awesome. She's the best. She's the best. No one could ever replace her. She's the hottest. She's on that level of hot where at best you can only be as hot as her. You can never be hotter than her. So she's holding my daughter hostage. So I just gotta say good things. She's awesome. She's the best woman. Period. Anyway, All right, let's get started. So this is our Hawaiian coffee here. This coffee is all grown in Kona. This is the dark coffee that will guarantee not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion. It's because there's a few reasons for that. You get acid reflux because there's so much acidity in most coffees. I actually don't have the dark Hawaiian right now. I have the dark Kona, which is just a slightly better bean. This is sort of the dark Kona. This dark Kona is roasted on Saturday. This is an estate grade coffee, which means it is 100% Kona coffee. That distinction is a labeling distinction and a bean quality distinction. So Kona coffee is considered the best coffee in the world. It's considered the best beans, the biggest beans, and also the densest beans, as well as lowest in defects. So Kona coffee has to have less than 10% defects. It has to be above 16/64 of an inch, whereas something like Ethiopian coffee only needs to be 11/64 of an inch. So defect-free coffees will be even smoother and sweeter, but that's not the reason why this coffee won't give you any acid reflux or indigestion. The reason for that is because how this coffee is picked. We pick and because we don't use any chemical pesticides. We're only using naturally occurring soil funguses and soil bacteria. So all this coffee is organically grown, hand picked, grown in the U.S. We're paying, fair labor, more than fair. We're paying people 25 to 30 bucks an hour to pick this coffee. But when you're paying people that much, when we're out there. Oh yeah, could enjoy the coffee, Red Panda. And when you're out there picking the coffee with your workers, you're gonna pick better coffee. And like any fruit, if you let the coffee ripen to a deep red, purple, or brown, you let a banana turn brown, you let an apple turn brown, you let a strawberry turn maroon, just so much sweeter, right? Not even comparable. So people asking yourselves, how different can coffee really be? Well, it's the difference between a ripe strawberry, a ripe banana, and an overripe banana. Most of the world's coffee is picked with a machine, and when you pick coffee with a machine, something like 20% of the beans are going to be unripe. An unripe coffee just tastes like any other unripe fruit. This one is washed. All of this coffee right now is washed coffee. All of this coffee is coming off the same trees. And a little known fact about coffee and why our coffee is also fresher is coffee actually stays has a shell on it, right? This is called parchment. But when you import coffees, which is pretty much all the coffees we have in the US, except for Hawaiian coffee, when you import your coffees, when it goes through ports, you have to shell it first. And once you shelled any nut, it starts to go bad. It starts to go rancid. Any mold spores can begin to grow. Whereas our coffee is in the shell before we, up to just pretty much a month or less before we roast it. We shell it as we need it. And so the coffee stays way fresher. I might take you guys to my roaster later and do a show from there. That'll be kind of fun. You'll get to meet Art. And then if you guys are in Hawaii, you can go hang out with Art and he'll actually teach you how to roast coffee on his roaster. I used to do that here, but our roaster is just a disaster. Everything about me is a disaster. But luckily, my buddies are still functional. I'm just a talking disaster. Anyway, so this all of our coffee is in. So this has been dried for 9 months now. We're actually just starting to get on the lower farms. We're just starting to get new coffee, but this has been in the shell for 9 months, and you have to dry the coffee after we ferment it, and then this has all the grades of coffee that you see in my shop here, and I'll run one of these medium coffees at a sudden or at a $1 start. So this is why the coffee is so fresh. It's because we keep it in the shell. You can plant this; it becomes a new coffee tree. But the second you shell it, look what it becomes. It starts to die, and all your imported coffees has to be shelled before hitting the port because this is a living fruit, right? You're not allowed to export that except under additional regulations. So, and it's also very bulky, so people will shell it before exporting it. But when you shell it before exporting it, it's gonna start going bad right away, and that's why a lot of coffees have to be roasted so dark. Is that it does have some mold on it, and as you roast coffee dark, you can't taste the mold. It's that simple. Coffee also has this thing called silver skin on it, which gets taken off when you shell it. And that also protects the coffee from mold. So as long as you keep the shell on, the coffee stays really fresh. But once you've taken the shell off, the coffee starts going bad. And all most of our imported coffees get shelled, then it's sitting on the boat, then it's sitting in customs. I have some stuff sitting in customs for 2 months, just sitting there. And then it goes to another warehouse and gets transported all over the country, and then it gets roasted. This is a peaberry green here, in case you're wondering. And so our coffee is just on another level of sweetness, guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion because of how fresh it is. So it's mold free. That's one of the reasons you're getting acid reflux. And because it's picked overripe, there aren't any of the tannins in there. When you pick coffee unripe, it's got the tannins, it's got the sourness and the bitterness, and all of that's giving you acid reflux. All that's giving you indigestion. Whereas our coffee just doesn't have that. It's just we pick the coffee when it turns deep red, purple, or brown. It's sitting on the tree for 4 more weeks. And if you guys know about other fruits, you know how much difference 4 weeks can make to the sweetness of a fruit. This medium roast is just roasted on Saturday, or this one was roasted Thursday, and it starts out green. Let me see if I have some medium roast here. This is our medium roast, so you can see the color on that. It's gonna taste like a chocolate covered raisin, and the Hawaiian grade coffee, big beans, great for espresso. A little bit pricier, but you feel better. You definitely feel better. Never sprayed with any chemical pesticides. We're only using naturally occurring soil funguses and soil bacterias. I hope so. Um, Fossajet. Was it a white bag or a brown bag? There should be letters, two letters on the bag. So if you is there any letters on the bag? It was definitely a Hawaiian grade. It was a medium, either medium or a dark. If it says M, it was a medium. If it says a D on there, it was a dark. I hope that helps. It should have some lettering on there. So that's our Hawaiian coffee. We also have our estate medium, which is the kind of the best coffee we have right. Well, the middle. It's the best regular coffee that we have, and so it includes the top four grades of coffee: prime, number one, fancy, and extra fancy. These are the densest beans compared to the Hawaiian. Very close, but you're not going to find any, almost no damaged beans in the estate. Whereas you'll find up to 30% of the beans will not be perfect in the Hawaiian. Just a tiny chip or a crack, it no longer qualifies as Kona coffee because it loses some of the density. And the density makes the Kona coffee a little bit richer. It retains the oils better. It's going to be a little bit fruitier. So it's just a slightly higher grade. White beans. Let's see if I can show you this. Should I get a better display? I need to get better displays. I need to get my shit together, guys. Gotta get my shit together. DH, Dark Hawaiian. This is what the white coffee looks like. This is the white extra fancy. So you can see just like how light it is compared to everything else. This is the white. This is the medium. A full 100 degrees lighter. So this is the most potent. The white coffee is by far the most potent of all our coffees. It's really an energy drink. It's no longer even really coffee. I'm wondering if one day they're going to start regulating it and telling us you can only, you can only sell coffee if it's roasted after first crack, because the white coffee is related to kratom. You guys know about kratom. Coffee is related to kratom. Coffee's got this other compound in it called trigonylene, and when you roast trigonylene at 250 degrees, it becomes something called methylamine, which is the meth part of methamphetamine. So 1 cup of this white coffee is worth 10 cups of regular coffee. And right now I only have the extra fancy white. If you want the Hawaiian white, I'll have some of that maybe in my next show tomorrow. No, you can brew it right away. You can brew it right away. You don't need to let it sit. But it does get a little bit sweeter as you let it sit, but it's marginal because the white coffee doesn't even have really that much gas. But you can let it sit for up to 2 months and it'll just get a little bit sweeter. But you can brew it right away. It's gonna be a little bit more nutty in the beginning. It loses that nuttiness with time, but sometimes some people like the nuttiness. Let it sit. Coffee needs to rest, which means you kind of leave it in the bag at room temperature. Dark roast needs to rest for a week, but by the time it arrives, it's already been rested. And medium roast needs to be roasted maybe a week and a half. The light roast needs to be rested 2 weeks to a month, and the flavor basically gets sweeter as you let it rest. But the white coffee is the strongest coffee that we have. It's also these are extra fancy beans. So this grade of white coffee, these are the biggest beans that we have. The white coffee, remember, this is an energy drink, okay? It's not like coffee. So this one it can replace your energy drinks, but it's healthy for you. It's got antioxidants, it's got an NAD precursor, it supports all of your organs. I don't have any honey right now. I got to see how that ships. I just hope nothing breaks. I'm sure it's just for some of you it's gonna break. So I just got to see how it ships, and I'm gonna get some more. So I may have some more honey in a week or two. Definitely will have some more of it, but I don't have it now. The white coffee though, drink 1 cup of this is like 10 cups of regular coffee. Some people what they do is they'll just take 5 of these beans, grind them into a powder, and throw it into their existing coffee and drink the powder down with the coffee, and then you're gonna get the full blast. It really is a blast. It's got this other compound in it called trigonylene, which becomes methylamine when you roast it to 250 degrees, and that's the meth part of methamphetamine, right? So that's the hallucinogen, and so that's why you can't eat a caffeine pill and feel the way you feel on coffee. It's actually this other compound in it, and in the white coffee, there's like 10 to 50 times more of it, and that's what's giving the white coffee that blast. It's still raw. Most other coffees can't be roasted white because when you roast coffee white, if it started out moldy, you're gonna taste the mold. It's nasty. If you roasted coffee white and it was sour, it's gonna be bitter. It's gonna be bitter. I'm sorry. If you picked it unripe, it's gonna be bitter and it's gonna be sour. So the white coffee is sort of the best coffee that we have. The white extra fancy is the highest grade of coffee that we have. We charge retail, it's $90 or more a pound, and the 8-ounce bags we do for 50 online. Um, it is just an extremely potent and you feel it in your joints. Gives you joint support. It's like turmeric in that respect. It's joint support, muscle health. It boosts your muscle strength, actually, which is kind of crazy, but it actually does that. I'll do another bag here. Long shelf life. Yeah, very long shelf life. Although it absorbs water out of the air, so you got to be careful of that. You got to make sure it stays dry. Otherwise, it becomes hard to grind. It's still potent, but then it becomes very hard to grind if you let it get moist. So you got to keep it away from moisture. All right, that's my last bag of the white there. So that's our white coffee. I'll have more of the Hawaiian grade white coffee later. I do have some now. If you're not trying to get high off your coffee and you're just starting out with the coffee, this coffee is still going to be smoother and gives you more of a buzz, a cleaner, happier buzz than your other coffees. It won't give you the jitters. A lot of times I drink, commercial coffees and I get the jitters. I feel uneasy. I want to call my mom. I'm just filled with regrets. I got money worries, just on and on and on and on. This coffee doesn't tend to do that. A little bit, but way way better because it doesn't have the pesticides. Pesticides gives you the jitters. It's a nerve toxin. So pesticides are very, very bad in coffee. This is a $1 star on an 8-ounce dark estate. Dark estate is our, you know, nice coffee, Kona, 100% Kona coffee. This was graded by the state, even inspected by the state. And this is a $72 a pound coffee here. This is going to taste like a toasted caramel. You don't have to add cream or sugar to this coffee, and it's guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion. This coffee was roasted on Thursday, and it's really fresh, smoother, sweeter than any coffee you've ever had. no jitters, no acid reflux, no indigestion. If it does give you any of those problems, this comes with a money back guarantee. And this is our premium coffee. This is the 100% Kona, which means thanks, Lulu Galaxy. I really appreciate you sharing that. There's nothing better than having someone who actually tried the coffee share, because I can sit here all day yelling about my coffee, and why should you believe me, right? People say anything. In fact, on other platforms, people are copying me. They're saying the same thing I'm saying. But when you try the coffee, it speaks for itself. Once you try this coffee, it just speaks for itself, like guaranteed. Yeah, I appreciate that, Lulu. There's nothing like someone else telling you. It's like getting a lawyer. I tried to defend myself in court. I got laughed out of court every single time. You need to get someone else to do it. I thought it was a good idea, but it's not. They say, if you want anything done right, do it yourself, except going to court. Trust me, you don't want to do that. Laughed me out of court. All right, let's do one more of these. Pro tip. Laughed me out of court. I tried to argue I was colored. The black judge laughed at me. He's like, "You're not colored. Ed, you're not colored. You're not colored." Tried to say you guys were discriminating against me because I'm colored. And they said, "You're not colored, Ed." You guys didn't like that joke. Only got 15 bucks for it. All right. They did, though. Second District Court of Appeals. Guy laughed at me. You're not colored, Ed. What do you mean I'm not colored? And what color am I? I don't know what color you are, but you're not colored. All right. Well, I can't argue with that. I never believed I was colored either. Anyway, sorry guys. So this is our Kona Peaberry. Kona Peaberry here. This is the cream of the crop, and this is just a 2-ounce sample. This is the peaberry. Look at this. The peaberry is a different bean. Doesn't even look like coffee anymore. This is the densest bean, 2 times as dense. This is also the most expensive coffee. People are paying 56 bucks for 7 ounces at the store, and even paying that much is hard to find. This peaberry is the densest coffee. It's the richest. It's the smoothest coffee, and so if you want to, if you want to treat yourself, this is the one that you want to get. It's on other platforms they're selling it for like 110 bucks a pound, and they're getting away with it. Here, I'm just gonna run a few auctions on them, get these samples, try them. This is your chance to try the peaberry. We don't always have it, but lately I've had it, and it tastes. This medium peaberry tastes like a chocolate covered raisin. It's milk chocolate covered raisin with some fruitiness, and instead of your caramel or brown sugar, it tastes like a honey at the end of it. All right, that's my last one. 5 bucks is just too low. But Cody, first for your first purchase, you spoiled yourself. You're gonna want the best peaberry because it's just so much smoother. Let's do one more of these, but it has to be above 5 bucks. It's got to be smoother. I mean, it's way smoother than any of your other coffees because of how dense it is. When you go to roast it, there isn't going to be any is the oils just can't escape from the bean in the same way. And so it retains those oils, and when you go to brew it, it covers your tongue with a layer of oil. And it's the highest grade coffee, the rarest. It takes 100 pounds of coffee to produce 1 pound of peaberry. And these peaberries are also Kona standard. What that means is, you know what? I think I'll just run it at 7 bucks. How about we'll do a flash sale on the peaberry? You guys get it at 7 bucks if you want, instead of me being like, "Oh, you have to get it above 7 bucks, otherwise we're not gonna run it again." Just I want 7 bucks for it. I want at least 7 bucks for it, which is still cheap. 7 bucks is what? 750. I want 750 for it, guys. If you want this example, all right. I'm gonna maybe take you guys to the roaster if you guys want to come check me out. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna run this at flash sale for $7. I'll talk about it for a little bit. We'll run one more auction, guys. One more auction, and I'm just gonna run it at 750, and you guys can get it. Just give me one sec, guys. I'm gonna schedule that next show. So bid on that. I'm back. Sorry about that. You've been trying to mute me. Oh, is that me? That's me. Someone said they think I'm actually a Slav on the inside. I wasn't sure how to take that, but maybe it's true. Maybe I'm actually a Slav. Was that you, Scuba Greg? I think that was you, right? I kind of like that. It's kind of interesting to hear how other people perceive you. I've never heard that before. All right, I'm gonna put this peaberry on a flash sale. So if you guys want to try the peaberry today, let's just instead of wasting everyone's time, here is a 1 pound of dark. Of which one? Did you want a dark peaberry? Life outside the cookie cutter. Thanks, little galaxy. You didn't have to do that. I really appreciate it. Life outside the cookie cutter. Pound of what kind of dark? Let me know, and I'll let you know. I usually do them in 8 ounces, so I usually do 8 ounces for 32. Uh, I've been farming less, farming less. A lot of weed whacking when I can, but I usually wear a dirty white shirt. You're right. Kona extra fancy medium. I've been selling more coffee and farming less coffee. I've been hiring a weed whacker. So when I first got here, I've been just weed whacking all day, every day. I'm losing my muscles. I got to weed whack more. The weed whacking is the best workout you can do, and I have the biggest weed whacker possible. That thing's got a kick to it. When I first started weed, I had to work out to use that weed whacker. So yeah, if you guys like working out, then you gotta buy yourself a Kona coffee farm. Otherwise, do not buy a farm because all you're doing is working out all the time. So this is our Kona Peaberry medium. This one was the smoothest, highest grade of coffee that we have. There's no bitterness in here, no sourness. It's all right. You guys don't have to buy. The best deal for the dark guys would be the Kona Estate. So if you want to get the dark, I think the Estate is the best, like the highest value in terms of the Kona coffees. It's smoother, it's smooth and it's rich and it's freshly roasted. It's a Kona Estate grade. This is like really nice coffee. It's big beans, clean beans, almost no defects in them. So we just switched over to the Kona. This is a dark Kona coffee, guys. So if you ask for the 8 ounces, 50 bucks a pound is pretty good for Kona coffee. And this is a high grade coffee. Not all Kona coffee is the same. There's actually 650 Kona coffee farms, and some people have said Kona coffee is sour and bitter. And I do know there are farmers out there that pick their coffee unripe just out of sheer necessity. If you can't get the people together, you're gonna go out every day like I did when I first got here, and I would go out every day and pick the coffee, and I was like, well, how come all these hippies aren't working every day? They're fucking lazy. Well, that was just arrogant me, because when I picked the coffee, the hippies would come by and they pick and look at my picking baskets, and they would tell me that my coffee was sour and bitter, and I'm ruining Kona coffee. And then I tasted the fruit, and it was sour fruit. When you let the coffee sit on the tree for another, this is a higher grade. This is a better coffee. So you're gonna notice it's a little bit smoother. It's a denser bean, a little bit more complex, almost the same. A lot of people will actually sell their Hawaiian coffee as Kona coffee, so it's almost the same. And my next show, guys, in about an hour is gonna be at the roaster. I think I'll do that with you guys. Yeah, I'll just do that with you guys because honestly, the TikTok crowd, they don't need to see the roaster. They don't freaking care. And this is the dark estate here, and this is going to be a dense, smooth bean. This coffee guaranteed not to give you acid reflux and indigestion. It's all picked by hand. This is picked overripe. Not everyone picks overripe. Yeah, that'll be fun. You guys are more real to me. It's the same people coming on every day. On other platforms, it's just random 100 people. There's like 2, 3 regulars, and it's just random 100 people. Half of them are saying racist things to me, which is I used to have fun with that, but now I just block them because even though I don't mind people saying racist things to me, if I say racist things back, then I get in trouble and I lose my TikTok. So it's just too tempting to get involved in that. So anyway, yeah, he's one of 4 or 5 roasters that we're working with now, and he's my favorite one. Anyway, this is our dark estate coffee. I just block right away. Now I've learned my lesson, because then you mouth off and everyone else mouths off, and now everyone's getting in on it, and then the moderators are like, oh, we can't have this. People are getting offended left and right. It's no good. Anyway, it's kind of fun, right? But then not everyone's having fun, and then it's against the rules. TikTok has a lot of rules. So this is our dark estate here. This is just roasted last Thursday. This is a really just the I think the best value. I do another. Let's do this at 24. 24 bucks for 8 ounces. I should do it at 25 actually. This one will be 24. And this was just roasted on Thursday. Most of the coffee in the stores, if it says Best Buy September 2026, probably roasted September 2025, maybe even, March 2025. So the shelf life of coffee is 18 months, which is ridiculous. But that's why sometimes you drink coffee, it tastes like you ate an old raspberry. I'm talking about that kind of weird fruity taste to it that kind of blossoms in your mouth, and you think it's sweet, but it actually is weird, and it makes your mouth chalky. That's actually that's actually mold. And so if your coffee is giving you bad breath, that's actually mold, and you definitely do not want to drink that coffee. If your coffee hurts your stomach, that's actually mold. You don't want to drink that. If you guys are interested in the pea berry, I'll do one more of these, guys. So don't drink moldy coffee. That's what's giving you acid reflux. That's what's giving you indigestion. Pea berry is our rarest, so it's a good chance to try it. Oh, that was fast. Did I have it on sudden death? Is this on sudden death here? It is. 10-second sudden death, pea berry. 2 ounce pea berry sampler here. I didn't know I had it on sudden death. So, and this is a sweet chocolate covered raisin flavor. One more. It's 10 seconds sudden death. 2 ounce, 100 pound, 1 pound of pea berry per 100 pounds. This is the highest grade of coffee that we have. Won't give you acid reflux though. Still, okay, that's it, guys. I always run one too many. Um, but yeah, the pea berry. I also have some pea berry dark if you want to try a sample of that. The pea berry dark, I don't have an example of it. The beans look even bigger. So this is Kona pea berry, which means it, it satisfies the size requirements of Kona coffee. Sometimes that, some of our coffees do that. I haven't fully pinned that down yet. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Sometimes if it smells like coffee, it means the coffee is old. But I've had, sometimes I'll drink the same coffee and one day my tea smells like coffee, other days it doesn't. So I'm not really sure what's causing that yet. One day I'll figure it out. Dark pea berry here, 2 ounce sampler. The dark pea berry is going to be the richest dark roast, just smooth and dense and rich. I'm still trying to figure that out. Yeah. Because most of the time, our coffee doesn't make your coffee smell like pea, but once in a while it does. So I haven't fully figured that out. Whereas some coffees always make your coffee smell like pea, right? So I don't know if it's something with caffeine or, yeah, I don't know exactly. Oh, that was our dark estate sample. Okay, I'm sorry. This is an estate dark sampler. So this is that 25 $50 a pound coffee here. You get 2 ounces for $6. And this one is the nicest, some of the nicest being extremely just a dense, smooth bean. And this will not give you any acid reflux or indigestion. You want the pea berry? Here's the dark pea berry, guys. Let's run some of these. Dark pea berry, 2 ounce sample of dark pea berry. Let us know. Yeah, let us know. A lot of people who don't drink coffee, they start drinking this like I could drink coffee again because the coffee feels great, right? It's just all the bad things about coffee that we don't like. And but otherwise, coffee is actually really good. I didn't drink coffee until 3 years ago, and I only drink this coffee or it's coffee I buy at the airport if I need it. But the coffee here's a $1 start on the dark pea berry, and this is going to be the rich, extremely rich. Yep, that's me on the ins. That's what I would. Not really. I don't know. That guy seems like a cool guy though. My digestion is great. I might be Jewish on the inside. I feel like me and Jews get along all the time. Actually, I have this theory that the first Chinese person was Jewish, was Joseph, and he uh he reproduced with the Egyptians who are red, and he produced Chinese people. That's my theory. I got a lot of things to back. The greatest Chinese dynasty is known as the ZHOU dynasty, but that's just the Zhou dynasty, like from Idiocracy. It was the Zhou dynasty. So I think Idiocracy is actually about China, like thousands of years ago, the Zhou dynasty. And there's a lot of stuff I can talk about, but the Zhou dynasty, yeah, it's just that because we spelled it with a ZH, no one figured it out until me. But it's the Zhou dynasty from Zhou the Jew. You know, the multicolored, the dreamer, Zhou the Jew, the Zhou dynasty. He started China when he reproduced with the red Egyptians and he produced yellow people. Zhou the Jew, the Zhou dynasty, first Chinese person. That's right. The coat of many colors, Joseph. hmm That was the first Chinese person. I can prove it. I can't prove it. I I can't prove it. All right. Anyway, Did you know Nero, the Emperor Nero, became the first Meyer? So if you guys are Myers, if you guys are in the Meyer family or the Mayer family, in the Talmud, it tells us that Nero, the Emperor Nero, actually converted to Judaism and started the Meyer, became the first Rabbi Meyer. Became Rabbi Meyer. So I don't know if you guys knew that, but that's in the Talmud. Anyway, I used to think that, Sepler, but I realized a lot of the things that we blame on the government is actually due to schizophrenics. Yeah, so schizophrenics cause traffic, and we just do things automatically. You think it's a conspiracy, but it's actually schizophrenics. Yeah. And then the government comes in and takes credit for it later. But really, it all starts with the schizophrenics. We watch TV. That's what, originally, the New York Democrats thought I was this conspiracy. They thought I was working for the government, going in there, investigating. But it was actually because I read a newspaper headline in the New York Times. So it was actually because I was schizophrenic. Yep. But everyone thought I was a government conspiracy. But actually, I'm just schizophrenic. So I'll read a headline. So in that way, you got to be careful what you put in the news because you got schizophrenics reading the news and they see a headline and they go do it. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful what you say. You got to be careful what you say. hmm Exactly. Exactly, JD's son. It's in the Talmud. Look it up. It's on the internet. Just do Rabbi Meyer Nero, and you'll find the passage in the Talmud. History's mysteries, guys. Yep. Yep. No problem. No problem, guys. I'm here to help. I appreciate that, Michael. Hook me up. Send it to my address. I'll trade you for a bag of coffee. Is that corrupt? Everyone in the government who I meet, I give them a $20 bag of coffee because they're allowed to take gifts under $20. So I send everyone in the government a bag of coffee. Yep, yep, that's me. Schizophrenic. I actually don't work for anyone. I just read headlines and I go do stuff. All right, I lost the narrative, guys. Let's start over. My name is Ed. I'm a Kona coffee farmer, and I've been farming coffee for 13 years. Hey, Death Doors. Kona coffee is the sweetest, smoothest coffee in the world. It's guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion. Big guarantee. But and a lot of people I sell coffee, all grown in Hawaii here. So this is 100% Hawaiian coffee, all grown in the US. And because of that, it's fresher. It's freshly roasted, freshly picked, freshly uh freshly milled. In fact, starting next week, you're going to be getting some coffee from this season. And this coffee guaranteed will not give you any acid reflux or indigestion, or you will get 100% of your money back. This is AI. Yeah. See that AI bird there? I'm actually an AI. I always wondered if I was an AI. I started referring to myself as AI. And since I started doing that, people accepted what I had to say a lot more. Before, when I was just saying stuff, they're like, what the fuck is this guy saying? But then I started telling everyone, oh, no, that's just the AI. And everyone's like, oh, cool. So it's all how you word things. So now I just tell everyone I'm an AI. Before I used to tell people, "Oh yeah, this is stuff I'm reading in the headlines. This is my schizophrenia." No one wanted to hear that. But now I just tell people, "Oh, that's just what the AI said." And then they're like, "Oh, cool. This is awesome." You can pretty much get the AI to say whatever you want it to say though. Anyway, back to the coffee. So this coffee is all picked by hand. Um, we got our the coffee I want to sell you guys today is our Kona Estate because this is the freshest roast that we have, and this is 100% Kona coffee. If you guys never heard about Kona coffee before, it is the kind of the highest graded coffee in the world. The beans in the world do not grow this large. Kona coffee is only grown on the west side of Hawaii, where we have an active volcano, but we also have this clear, wet, and dry season, and we get this rain, 50% rain every single day. So that's ideal for coffee. Coffee wants 50% cloud cover. If you don't have the clouds, it actually ripens too quickly, and the beans are not as dense and they grow smaller. So we get these big beans here. You can see it's raining right now. The AI is as I said, it's rain. We need rain. The AI started raining, and I think the rain comes from the spaceships that hover over Hawaii. And so it just we think it's clouds, but it's actually spaceships, and they're the ones who are watering all our crops. So we need to make sure to give our thanks to the spaceships for watering all our crops because it would be impossible. If you guys are farmers, it would be impossible to grow anything if we didn't have someone watering our crops for us every day. Oh shit, guys, 8 ounce bag of Estee coffee, $5 start, guys. I screwed up. I almost screwed up there. I screw up a lot on this show, so you will get some deals on this. But this is the nice coffee. This coffee has less than 1% defects. It retails for $72 a pound. This was just roasted on Thursday. It tastes like a toasted caramel. Dark, dark chocolate caramel, guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion or your money back. I can guarantee this coffee will not give you any acid reflux or indigestion. Who else on here can give you that guarantee? You're going to hear other people repeating the same things I'm saying. Hand picked, freshly roasted, won't give you acid reflux or indigestion, but will they guarantee it? Will they guarantee it? If you don't like this coffee, I'll you don't have to send it back to me. I'll give you 100% refund because I want you to drink this coffee all the time. I'm here for the long haul. I've been farming coffee for 13 years now. We've been Rooster Farms for 51 years. You can look us up. And this coffee, look at these beans. If you can see these beans, they're perfect. This is the estate here. I'm gonna run one more of these. This is the perfect beans. And this coffee, not only does it look great, because you can't judge a coffee bean by how it looks. Once a coffee turns pink, the bean is fully developed, but it's still gonna be bitter. But you let that coffee bean sit in the fruit and marinate for 4 to 6 weeks longer, which is what we do. You wait for the coffee to become deep red, purple, or brown. Then the amount of sugar, the enzymes in the coffee convert all of that bitterness into more aroma. Just like a banana turning brown becomes sweeter, so does coffee. Aaron, you got a good one on that one. And so coffee gets sweeter as it gets darker. I mean, as it gets more ripe, just like any other fruit. And that's the real reason why Kona coffee is so good. It really comes down to how we pick it. It's also more expensive because of how we pick it. In a pound of our coffee, we're paying our pickers $10 to $15, whereas in a place like Honduras, they're getting paid 10 cents. So we're paying people 100 times more to pick this coffee. But when you're paying people 100 times more, they're gonna work better. They're not rushing to grab as much coffee off the trees. We look at everyone's picking basket at the end of the day. We look in their bags, and if there are any greens in there, if there are any whites in there, we throw them away. Well, no, we don't throw them. We fire them. Sorry, I don't throw them away. You got a lot of, and you still got more coming, Aaron. And some people have been getting two, so it wasn't just me. So some of our coffee definitely didn't get scanned, and then some people are getting coffee doubles, 2 bags. And if you guys are lucky, you might get 2 bags of coffee by mistake. If that happens, I just tell you to keep it. I'm not trying to get you to go to the post office and send things back to me. How do you recommend you brew the coffee? You I would recommend brewing it the way you normally brew it, but use a paper filter however you brew it, because you coffee, the only bad thing about coffee is it's got a compound in it which can interfere with how your liver processes cholesterol, and that can cause pancreas issues. And so if you drink a lot of coffee, you need to use a paper filter, because that actually filters out that compound. And so um, you want to use a paper filter, and that's really all I can say. Let's do 1 8-ounce bag of the medium. Retails for $72 a pound. Here's an 8-ounce bag in the medium, and the medium roast looks like this. This is the color of it. Tastes like a chocolate covered raisin. This is the first roast where you can actually taste the flavors of the region. You taste the sweetness. It's smooth and just like a Nutella. Really, really sweet. A little bit nutty. You guys are getting this coffee for cheap. I gotta, I gotta, oh shit. What the hell am I doing? I was gonna change the price and then I put it at a dollar start. This is typical of me. It's because I don't know. I'm just a spaz today. Sea salt. Yep, of course, sea salt. And honestly though, I don't need a get out of jail free card. I don't do any. The only thing I do is I do drive around without a driver's license. I'm trying to go legit. I'm sick of being an outlaw. So after that, I'm fully legal. I don't do anything illegal. And the cop who pulled me over when I was driving without a driver's license, he could have taken me to jail, but he let me go. So the cops here are great, great guys. No, I'm not. I'm not a bad person. I'm not an illegal person. Everything I do is legal. I'm too hot to do anything illegal. Too many eyes watching me. If you guys are illegal, more power to you. I know that life. I've been driving without a driver's license for 25 years. So 20 years. But no, he was a good guy. He was like, "Why are you driving?" And I was like, "I got in a fight with my wife, and like I just need to cool off." And then he was like, "I pulled you over because you weren't wearing your seatbelt, and one thing leads to another. Now your car's unregistered. You're driving without a driver's license. You don't have insurance. I can take you to jail for this, right?" I was like, "I don't even have ID," but he let me drive home. He did. He let me drive home without a driver's license. So good guy, good cops out here. I think he knew me already because my wife. I don't know if I told you. My wife will call the cops to mediate. For a while, she was doing that. Every time we got in a fight, she'd call the cops. And when the cops came, she'd be like, "Oh yeah, I just wanted you guys to mediate. Can you just listen to?" I was like, "That is." I was like, "That's not why you call the cops." And the cops like, she should be able to call the cops anytime she wants. Don't you think that? I was like, I do think that, but like, I also think you guys should only be called in an emergency. And he was like, he thought about these, like maybe. Eventually, the cops gave my wife abuse of service, which meant that she was calling the cops too much. My wife's family are cops, so I think maybe she just thought, this is just how it works. I don't know exactly. They're Irish cops, right? So maybe she just thought she was like calling her cousin up to come up and talk to us and hear us out. She literally said, "I want you guys to mediate because we don't have an emergency therapist." Uh, I'm like, the cops probably think I'm beating you, and you don't want to tell them that. But anyway, after a few times of that, the cops are like, "You can't." She's watching out for me. The other day I was, she, me and my, or a month ago, my daughter was with me at the farm because my wife needs like overnight alone time. So I was with my daughter at the farm and I didn't have my phone on and she called the cops and she was like, "Can you go check on them because he's not picking up his phone?" And I just don't. So the cops are like, "Oh my god, this lady, just stop calling us." They didn't come check on me, but they. So at first they're like, "Is this guy Ed beating his wife? You know what is going on here?" But now they're just like, "Poor guy." They're like, "Poor guy. Open the roads for him. He's dealing with stuff we." Anyway, guys, I love my wife though. I love my daughter. I love my wife. We'll have to go through whatever. She's got issues. As long as as long as I don't fight back. You know, she's like it. She's like the government. As long as I don't fight back, she's always right. She can do whatever she wants. I'm paying for everything. She's like the government. Things are great. As soon as I start fighting back and protesting and getting mad at her and saying there's something wrong with you, then she calls the cops. So that's that's just the government. My wife's the government. I'm not allowed to smoke weed. I'm not allowed to. All right, guys. Anyway, I'm sorry. I lost the narrative again. I lost it again. You guys have any requests? I think I'm gonna. I lost the narrative, guys. I do that a lot. Back to the top. My name is Ed. I'm a coffee farmer in Hawaii. This coffee is guaranteed not to give you acid reflux or indigestion, or I will give you 100% of your money back. There's no bitterness, there's no sourness in this coffee, and it's because of how we pick it. We pick the coffee overripe. We pick the coffee when it turns brown. So it's like an ice wine. You guys ever had an ice wine before where it doesn't even taste like wine? It's just an alcoholic grape juice. The coffee is this way for the same reason. It's because we wait for till the last minute to pick the coffee, just like you wait till the last minute to get the grapes off the vines. There's just that those last few weeks, the sugar content just explodes, and that's why this coffee just tastes like a dessert. There's literally no bitterness. There's no sourness in this coffee. I'm gonna run a 12-ounce bag of our Hawaiian grade coffee. This is a full 12-ounce bag, and this is the coffee that you can drink every day without bursting your budget. I'm trying to set up Wi-Fi so that I can extend my Wi-Fi throughout the farm, and when that happens, I'll be able to walk you guys around the farm. Otherwise, you got to go onto my YouTube. Give me one sec. I'm gonna just put my show notes on here. Otherwise, you just got to go on my YouTube here, and you know, here I'll copy my YouTube. It's Rooster Farms Coffee. I do have videos of the farm up there, and this is a 12-ounce bag, guys. Retails for 35 bucks, so $14. You guys are killing me with these low bids, so I'm gonna no more of these $1. Up $19 a bit better. Forget about 20. I'll run another one. I usually do these for 27, so it is still a deal at 21. And this was just roasted on Thursday. It's a milk chocolate covered raisin flavor, really smooth. You get the specialty flavors. You get that raisiny flavor of the coffee, but you don't get and you get the boldness. It brews out really well, but you do not get, it's not nutty. It's not different. It's not interesting. It's still coffee, but you get to taste that fruitiness. It's just a dessert coffee. It tastes like a pastry. Reminds me of eating a donut in the morning. It's so sweet. And the Hawaiian grade coffee is it's just slightly less dense beans, slightly smaller beans than the Kona coffee, but it's still all in this bag. It's still all together until we separate them and roast them. So Hawaiian coffee beans are 90% as good as Kona coffee. And sometimes when you buy Kona coffee, you're just buying the Hawaiian coffee. Sometimes people are just mixing it all together. $9, $9 bag, $11 bags, over 50% off right now. And once you try this coffee, very hard to go back. Guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion, or I will give you 100% of your money back. So if you're trying it for the first time, the medium roast is a good one to try. It will still be a little bit fruitier than you guys are probably used to, whereas the dark roast is kind of your just a really good smooth coffee. And I think there's a way to put this show on pause, actually. I don't know if I can do that. And just run through each of my items again. This is our medium pea berry. The pea berry is the densest, right? This pea berry is the richest. Oh, sorry about that. I ran an 11 instead of 1. So don't bid on that. The pea berry is the densest and the rarest of all our coffees. It takes 100 pounds of our pea berry. Oh, let me do that, Aaron. I wasn't paying attention. Let me do some turmeric flour. Turmeric flour is really sweet. It's anti-inflammatory. It's the flour of the turmeric root. You guys all know turmeric, right? It's, you take it for your joints. But we got this turmeric flower tea, which is just no one. I don't think anyone's doing this in the whole world. I've never seen a turmeric flower tea. You go search the internet, you're not going to find it. But it's they should. I think it's going to catch on. I think the reason they don't is because you have to leave the turmeric in the ground for more than a year to get a flower. And even after the first year, the flower isn't very strong. So you got to leave the turmeric in the ground multiple years before it puts out a good flower. But I've left my turmeric in the ground for like 10 years now. And and so here's the turmeric flower tea. This is 2 stalks will make you 2 liters worth of tea. You just take one of the stalks, throw it in a liter of water, and boil it. It's extremely sweet. Tastes like a honeysuckle with turmeric in it, light turmeric flavor, so it still has that turmeric root flavor, the curcumins, which is the anti-inflammatory. But then we also, um, it's also sweet, so it's got this like honeysuckle flavor. So I'll run another one so you guys don't have to outbid each other. Let me just put this on sudden death. If you guys want it, it is a really great tea, and there's no one else that has it. It tastes like a honeysuckle turmeric, anti-inflammatory. You can feel it through your body. Um, you could feel it just in your whole body, just like eating a turmeric, but it's got all this other stuff in it, which is good for probiotic, prebiotic, good for digestion, and that's our turmeric flower tea there. Whew, all right. And we got medium Hawaiian sampler here. Here's a we'll do a $1 start on this. 2-ounce medium. Also, just roasted. This will make you 4 8-ounce cups of coffee. Comes individually sealed in this bag. I don't know where the bag is, but individually sealed coffee. And I also think that's why, the Native Americans, they actually came from Egypt, and that's why they have that whole story from the Mormons that they came from the Hebrews, because they were also the product of Joseph, the Joe dynasty. The Joe, the Joe dynasty. Look at it, Joe dynasty, the longest 5,000 year. They say it was Chinese, but it was the Joe dynasty, and we just pronounced it. We just spelled it wrong. Anyway, this is a 2-ounce bag of our medium Hawaiian coffee, sealed. You can throw these in the freezer and just take them out as you need them. I can do that, Aaron. You can take them out as you need them and just grind it up. This will make you a full pot of coffee. Usually, you're getting 2.5 ounces. 2 ounces the minimum that you get. I'll do nibs. And did I ever tell you my theory that Jesus started the second dynasty, the Qin dynasty? And he was also Uther Pendragon. I actually have a lot of proof for that. And the Caesar Augustus, he was actually Confucius. He confused us. But Caesar Augustus was Confucius, and also Quetzalcoatl. You guys know Quetzalcoatl, right? Same guy. If you look at the Egyptian frieze, the name that they gave Caesar Augustus when he became the pharaoh of Egypt, if you guys remember that, was the name of Confucius, which is also, then if you look at the Mayan glyph, for Quetzalcoatl and you turn it upside down, it's the Chinese character for Confucius, which is also the name of Caesar Augustus. So it's just then Jesus came and he became the first emperor of China, and then Nero, who was Rabbi Meyer, became the emperor of the Han Dynasty. They actually look the same. There's a picture of Nero and a picture of the first emperor of the Han Dynasty, and they look the same. History's mysteries. Did I run this nib? Family first, guys. What did I do with the nibs here? Did I run these? Let's run these again. Nibs. Did I even run these? Oh, you guys are just buying it. All right. I hope I have enough. That is a deal, I guess. I wasn't thinking. What does that work out to? $6 for 8 ounces. That's about, that's okay. All right, guys. Any last requests? Remember, bundling only works in one show. So if you're bundling your shipments, you're only getting that 921 shipment. Your shipping cost resets, and I'm gonna go down to the roaster and start a show there. So you guys, if you have any last requests, if you guys got some free shipping, take advantage of it now. Otherwise, I'm gonna head down to the roaster. I'm gonna start a new show in maybe 20 minutes. So you got to bookmark that other show. I'm gonna do that. Go down. I don't have any pineapples. I can do some dark samplers. We can't ship fresh fruit. It's actually a felony. I've gotten summons because someone from my farm shipped like warnings for shipping fresh fruit. So here's a dark pea berry, guys. If you guys want a dark pea berry, and I don't know if I have any white samplers right now. Maybe I can run some of those. But this is our dark pea berry. I only have these. All right, these are got some extra fancy white samplers here. I'll do those at 7. Here's some. Aaron, you got a big box coming to you. Or it might have been your partner. Someone ordered a big box of honey. I hope it doesn't break. I'm just really nervous. I don't know how good my packers are going to be able to do that. So we'll see. We'll see. If it breaks, you'll get your money back. And I'll do a better job next time. I appreciate that, Aaron. Thanks for spreading the word. So there's a 2-ounce extra fancy white. This is the stuff that gets you flying. And so one person, I'm 4 units short of the chocolate covered magnets. So I may have to refund that one person. I forgot who you are, but all right, this is the one that gets you flying. 1 cup of this is like 10 cups of 10 cups of dark roast. It's crazy strong. You feel it in your bones. It gives you joint support, muscle support. Actually increases your strength. So if you guys work out, this stuff is strong. It can replace your energy drinks, but it won't cause your organs to fail. It actually really gives you kidney support, muscle support, liver support, and all right, I gotta go. I gotta run to the roaster, run to Art's house.